on the preview for the fundamentals. Let's trade it now. Scott Bauer is looking at the company. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, you got to be crazy to bet against Microsoft, right? 9 out of 12. Last times this thing moves on earnings, and it does so to the upside.
Well, that means 3 out of 12 didn't work. But no, I agree with what Sarah said. I agree with what you're talking about, Oliver. It's hard to buck the trend here. The option trade of late yesterday was 2.5 to 1 calls to puts. So even the trade that's going on is very bullish as well. Now that being said, I want to be somewhat cautious here. So I am mildly bullish going into this print here. There is a lot of support down below the market here at the 50-day moving average around 131. The market maker expected move overnight tonight on earnings is about $4.50. So what I'm doing, Oliver, and we've talked about this before, I'm actually selling an iron condor. So I'm selling a put spread, I'm selling a call spread, but I'm actually adjusting my strikes and skewing my strikes to give me a little bit more room to the upside because I am moderately bullish. So what I'm looking to do is sell this week's 134, 131 put spread, $3 wide to the downside, and also sell the 140, 143 call spread on the upside. I can do that for about $1.50, which, for a credit spread, to get 1-to-1 odds, 1-to-1 reward to risk. So I'm collecting $1.50. The max I can lose is $1.50 on that. That is great reward to risk, and I'm playing, the odds that the stock is going to stay fairly close to that expected move to that market maker range.
All right. So this is now, I think, also brings up a couple important things about the stock, Scott, which is it's up 35% on the year, or 34, I think.
Yep.
The market obviously is up about 25, so it's outperforming. And it's also, by just Microsoft's 10-year history, starting to get a little bit pricier too at 30 times. But my thing is, it's hard to really view either of those as being concretely, bearish when you've got software names that are trading way, way, way more expensive, that don't generate earnings yet, that are basically a bet on earnings to come. So I feel like if people start to have questions about software, I don't know, Microsoft may be not the first place they'll pull the money out of.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's nothing really to be bearish about this, especially from a technical standpoint with that big support around 131 being that 50-day moving average. There's really nothing to be bearish, but like I said, I'm cautiously bullish on this, and that's why this trade is skewed a little bit to the upside, but taking advantage of some pretty expensive premium going into a one-day move on earnings.
Yeah. All right, Scott, before we let you go, the risk to this then, you've got downside capped as well, right? The risk is a big move.
Absolutely. The risk is outside of what that expected move is. So even if the stock were to go to 0 or it were to go to 200, big outlying move, the maximum value this trade could ever be worth is $3. I'm collecting $1.50. That's what puts that reward to risk at even odds at 1-to-1, and I love that.
All right. Nicely done. Scott Bauer, we will be watching. Scott is the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Microsoft after the bell.